While I was in the hospital, my mom and sister put my 4 years old in a box, joking she was being returned to the factory. When I got home, she was crying as they laughed. I did not shout, but a week later they were in the on screaming. The first thing I heard when I opened my front door was not welcome home or how are you feeling. It was my daughter screaming, not the angry scream of a tantrum, not the frustrated wail of a toy taken away. This was the raw primal terror of a child who genuinely believed she was about to be abandoned. The kind of sound that bypasses your brain and goes straight to something older, something that makes your blood run cold even before you understand why. I dropped my hospital bag on the hardwood. The sound was coming from the living room. When I rounded the corner, I saw the cardboard box first, one of those large Amazon shipping boxes, the kind that holds a small appliance. It was sitting in the middle of the carpet, and someone had written across it in thick black Sharpie. Deep to sender, my 4-year-old daughter, Ina, was inside it. My mother was standing over the box, iPhone held at arm's length recording. My sister Vanessa stood beside her, also flaming, her face split into that particular smile people get when they are capturing content. Performative delight mixed with calculated engagement haunting. Please, Emma shouted from inside the box. Her voice was she would been crying for a while. Please let me out. I will be good. I promise I will be good. Vanessa zoomed in closer. But sweetie, you are broken. We have to send you back to the factory where they make little girls. Maybe they will give us a better one. My mother added, her voice surgery, the theoretical one that does not cry so much. Emma's face appeared over the edge of the box. Poofy, red, soaked with tears and snored. Her hands gripped the cardboard edge so hard her calculus had gone wide. I don't want to go back, she wailed. I don't want them fixed to me. My sister cackled, actually cackled like a cartoon villain. Too late, sweetie, the factory truck is coming. Did you hear that? She made a beeping sound. Beep, beep, beep. That's when my mother's gaze drifted toward the doorway toward me. Her smile died like someone had flipped a switch. Oh, her phone louded slightly. You were home. I didn't say anything. I walked across the room, lifted Emma out of the box, and held her against my chest. She wrapped me like a drawing person, grabbing a lifeline, arms around my neck, legs around my waist, face buried in my shoulder. Her whole body shook. It was just a joke, Vanessa said quickly. Her voice bad and defensive. She was being dramatic. Kids do that. I carried Emma toward the stairs. Ryan, come on. My mother called after me. She's fine. She's 4. She won't even remember this tomorrow. I kept walking. Upstairs, I sat on the Emma's bed, and that one with the unicorn sheet she had picked out herself and her while she cried into my shoulder. After 10 minutes, the sobs became hiccups. After 20, she pulled back enough to look at me. Daddy, her voice was so small. Am I broken? The words went through my lips like a blade. No, baby, you are perfect, but Grandma said I am defective. She pronounced it carefully, the way kids do with new words. She said they need to send me back. I held her tighter. Grandma was wrong. You are not defective. You are exactly who you are supposed to be. Promise, I promise. She fell asleep 20 minutes later. Still clutching my shirt. I stayed until her breathing evened out. Then I carefully extracted myself and sat in the hallway outside her room in the dark, and I did math. My mother and sister had been living in my rental property for 2 years. It was a 3-bedroom house 2 blocks from mine, close enough that they could help with Emma. After my wife Sarah died from a pulmonary embolism when Emma was 18 months old, the rent should have been $800 a month, market rate for that nearby hood. I will charge them nothing. 2 years, 24 months, $43,200. My sister's car insurance was on my policy, had been since his total her Civic, and her rates got about $200 a month, give or take $4,800. The credit card I would so sign for my mother 3 years ago when she was rebuilding her credit after her divorce. She'd promised she would only use it for emergencies and pay it off every month. Current balance 82473. I knew because I checked that morning, sitting in the hospital bed before my discharge. The latest charge was from 2 days ago. Sepura $347. Total financial support over the past 2 years, approximately $56,000, and they would be put my daughter in a box and told her she was defective for TikTok views. I pulled out my phone and opened my notes app, started typing. The next morning, Emma asked for chocolate chip pancakes. I made them. She ate 2 bites and then asked, Daddy, if I really go today, can I stay? We're staying forever, sweetheart. This is your home. But what if I am bad? Emma looked at me. I knelt down so you were eye level. Nothing you do could ever make me send you away. Do you understand? Nothing, she nodded, but I could see the doubt still there. Lord Deep, after I dropped her at preschool, Mrs. Rodriguez asked if everything was okay. Emma had been unusually chingy during drop-off. I dropped the law office of Martinez and Associates. Jennifer Martinez was a family law attorney I would work with during the state settlement after Sarah died. She was in her 15s, pragmatic, and she did not waste time on questionings. I need to evict my mother and sister from my rental property. I said. She did not blink. How long have they been there? 2 years, no lease, no rent paid. That makes it easier. Month to month thingy. You can evict with 30 days written notice. In this state, do you want to do this? Yes. Any chance they will contest it? Probably, she nodded. We will file today. Expect pushback. Expect tears. Expect them to call you name. Do you have documentation of the lack of payment? Bank statements going back 2 years. Good. Bring them by this afternoon. Step 2 was my insurance agent's office. I need to remove my sister from my auto insurance policy. I told Ray Chen, who would handle my policies for 6 years. Okay, I can do that. She will need to find her own coverage immediately. Is her car financed? Yes, then her tender will require proof of insurance within usually 10 to 30 days depending on the lender. If she can't provide it, they will force place insurance at a much higher rate or process. Understood, Diane. I have to ask, is everything okay? Everything's fine, just making some changes. He proceeded the removal while I waited. Done. She's off the policy as of tomorrow. I will send her an email with notifications tonight. Stop. There was a phone call to Capital. One, I will be rehearsing what to say. I need to dispute charge on my account ending in 4739. I told the representatives her name was Miss McHale. She sounds tired. Can I ask the nature of the dispute? Unauthorized uses. The card was cautioned for emergency use only by me. My mother, she made approximately $8,000 in non-emergency purchases without my permission over the past 14 months. Casino windows, luxury retail restaurants, I see, and you are listed as the primary card holder. Yes, I'm going to open a fraud investigation. You will need to submit documentation. Your caution agreement if we have one communication about the card intended use, and you may need to file a police report. I will do whatever is necessary. The account will be frozen pending the investigation. Your mother will be unable to use the card during this time. I understand. Michael Paul, sir, I have to tell you, if your investigation find your favor, your mother could face criminal fraud charge. I understand that too. Later from Emma's parcel called, Hi Mr. Peterson, this is Mrs. Rodriguez. I wanted to check in. Emma's had a really hard day. She's been asking preparedly if we are coming to pick her up, and when I assured her you were, she asked if we are going to send her back. Do you know what she means by that? My jaw tightened. Yes, something happened at home. I'm handling it, I see. Her voice was careful. Has there been any change in her environment? Anyone now? Anyone new staying with you? Or my mother and sister were watching her a while. I was in the hospital this week. They don't be watching her anymore. Silence on the other end. Then Mr. Peterson, if there's anything we should know about Emma safely. She's safe. I said, promise you she's safe now. It handled. Okay, but if you need resources, counseling for her, or I will deal into it. Thank you for calling. After I hung up, I sat in my car in the law office parking lot and called Miss Dr. Lisa Mendoza, a child psychologist who had been recommended by Emma's pediatrician months ago after Emma had started living nightmares following Sarah's death. Dr. Mendoza's office. Hi, this is Ryan Peterson. I need to schedule an appointment for my daughter Emma as soon as possible. She is 4 and she has been through a traumatic incident. I'm so sorry to hear that. Dr. Mendoza has an opening Friday at 2 would that work? Yes, thank you. 3 days later, my mother called. I was taking dinner, mac and cheese, Emma's favorite. When my phone lit up, Mom is cell. I put it on the speaker. We got an eviction notice. Her voice was tight. Control delivered my process error. I know why you're doing this. I turned off the stove. You put Emma in a box and told her she was defective. You filmed her crying and begging you to let her out. It was a joke. My god, Ryan, it was a joke. She is fine. She asked me if she was broken. She is 4 years old and she asked me if I was going to send her back to the Victoria. Silent on the other end. You are overreacting. She said finally. You are upset because of the accident and you are not thinking clearly. I have 30 days to give you. You have 30 days to leave. Ryan, I hung up for 53 minutes later. My sister called. I did not pick up. She called again and again on the fourth cell. I answered. My insurance was cancelled. Vanessa was screaming. I got pulled over for a broken tail. Right, and I don't have insurance. Do you know what the fine is? Get your own policy. I can't afford it. They quoted me $350 a month because of your accident history. You should have the thought about it before you put my daughter in a box. That is not about that. You can't just I can. I did hang up. 2 weeks passed. You must start seeing Dr. Mendoza twice a week. The first season, I waited in the blue bay while they talked. When Dr. Mendoza came out, her expression was carefully neutral. I would like to schedule a parent session. She said, just you and me. Can you come in Monday at 10? Is everything okay? Image displaying symptoms consistent with emotional trauma. I didn't understand the full context of what happened. Monday morning, I sat in Dr. Mendoza's office while she took notes, walked me through what happened. She said from the beginning. I told her everything, the box, the level, the video at the beginning. She was quiet for a long moment after. I finished Mr. Patterson. What they did constitute emotional abuse. It's textbook psychological. Maybe find a factory that extra defective grandmothers. I stepped back inside, closed the door, through the window. I watched my mother sink to her knees on the concrete. My sister stood frozen, starting at nothing. And I felt nothing but the waiting of my daughter sleeping upstairs, finally safe from the people who were supposed to love her most. 3 months later, Emma stopped asking if I was going to send her away. It took time. It took Dr. Mendoza's patient work, twice a week for 8 weeks, then once a week. It took me sitting with her every single night, reading stories, singing songs, promising her over and over that she was loved, she was wanted, she was perfect exactly as she was, but she stopped asking. Mother and sister moved in with my aunt Linda. My mother's younger sister in Nevada, Lydia, called me on to yell at me for abandoning family. I listened for 30 seconds, then said, did you watch the video? She hung up. She called back an hour later to apologize. The credit card fraud investigation found in my favor. My mother was ordered to pay restitution. Her credit score dropped below 500. She sent me an email, the first contact in 2 months, saying you destroyed her future. I did not respond. Vanessa's car was repossessed. She posted about it on Facebook, calling me a vindictive monster. 17 people recommended telling her she got what she deserved. I did not block them on social media. I wanted them to see Emma's photos. I wanted them to see her smiling at the zoo, laughing at the park, living the life they tried to take from her. Last week, Emma brought home a drawing from preschool. It was the two of us, stick figures holding hands, about it, in Mrs. Rodriguez's careful handwriting. Emma had dictated it. My daddy loves me forever. I put it on the refrigerator and every time I walk past it, I think about the cardboard.